Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Rich and Facts. This is season 2, episode 7. Today I have a very special and accomplished guest. Give it up for Bellaa Presley. She just recently released a music video called Fuck It, and it's got 32K views on YouTube. Go check it out now. It is awesome. And with that said, Bellaa, let me give you the floor. How you doing today?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. What'd you say?
Oh, my fault.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, the floor is yours. Feel free to introduce yourself. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm Bellaa Presley. I'm excited to be doing this podcast today, Thank you for sharing my little video information.
Yeah. So Bellaa, I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, right? The music
Mhm.
scene is heavy where I'm from. Where are you from? And I guess what was it like for you growing up with music? Like first where you're from, and then, my second question is what made you want to get into music to be an artist?
So I'm from Long Island, New York.
Okay.
I grew up in Coram. I now live in Shirley, not very far from each other. I got into music literally since I was like a little kid because my mom's entire family, like all the women know how to sing. So I was like always around like my aunts, my grandma, my mom, like everybody was just always around me, like singing, blah, blah, blah. They bought me my first karaoke machine when I was like 4. And that was it. Like I just like loved it. I did like chorus and drama club and all that stuff. And I just like, it was just my thing.
Yeah, man. And it seems like music has become such a pop culture phenomenon now. It's like I feel like kids growing up today, I mean, first off, it's so easy, right? You just get a mic, you got a YouTube channel, phone, and Instagram, and bang, you can just record, and with enough views, then you get verified, and it's everywhere. I guess as far as the music is concerned, New York is known for having a ton of artists. What were some artists that you looked up to growing up in music?
So what I looked up to very heavily, Amy Winehouse, Mary J.
Mhm.
Blige, Sade. Those were, I would say, like my top 3 influences. Mary J. Blige and Sade were like the first 2 artists I was really opened up to. Like my dad took me to see them live when I was like 10 and 11. So that was like the first time like I really saw an artist in their element. And that's just
Mhm.
when I just like, it was just like a huge influence in my path that I took after that.
Yeah, and you have a ton of videos on YouTube. What does your what does your creative process look like? How do you get in that zone, so to speak?
So for the video, it really like when I try to come up with a concept for the videos, I have to like sit and listen to the song. And as I'm listening to it like over and over and over again, I just have like it just like creates an image in my mind of how I want to see the video. I try my best for like the videos that I do to have some type of like um influence in it. Like the first one, Stay Out My Way, that I put out, like I did it on the Joker steps. I had the suit on, the whole thing, like went down the thing. The second video, Fuck It, I did we were in the old school car. It was like switching around, like so it was like the theme song of that 70s show because we were in the
Hmm.
car from the 70s. So it's like kind of like that whole thing. But the day of the video, it's just almost like adrenaline. Like that's like the day that I shoot the video, like after we're done, after the whole day is done and the video has been shot, like I don't really remember much of the day
Yeah,
because you're just like in
I
that
know what you
zone, like
mean.
you're just like all like hyped up and everything. But it's always a very fun time. I always have like the right people around me, so there's never any like tension or like weird vibes. So I'm always able to stay in that mindset. So it's good that way.
And talk about talk about the people you surround yourself with as far as like the vibes, because I'm gonna get into this on a much bigger topic later, but I feel like when it comes to being an influencer, an entrepreneur, right? We're stepping outside of the norm.
Mhm.
We're raised up to, kind of be in that simulation, that 9 to 5. So when you are that friend, or you do have that friend that wants to be an artist, it can be tough to have, you know, whether family or friends that, you know, really support you and are there for you. And it sounds like in your case, that's not the case. You have a good support system around you. So talk to me about that.
So, all my friends, I have like a smaller group of friends,
Mm-hmm.
for that reason exactly, because like you have to kind of like weed through everybody that is like actually supporting you or like fake supporting you kind of thing. So I've kind of narrowed it down my friend group to the people that actually want to see me succeed with
Mm-hmm.
my music career. My family has always been 100% supportive of what I do. My mom has always like wanted me, this is what she wanted me to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So she like really, really does support me very well. My dad supports me very well. My brothers, my sister, they support me. Even like my cousins and stuff like that, like they'll come to like photo shoots when they can. They'll come to shows and performances when they can. Like they always like tap into things like this to like watch the podcast and do all that stuff. So I have a very good support system around me, and the team that I've built around me, like videographer, photographer, producer, my manager, like I've built a relationship with each one of them where everything that we do together is very comfortable.
That's
So,
awesome. Bella, if you don't mind, I want you to give me like 5 minutes just because I noticed the audio started cutting out.
okay.
I want to get on my better Zoom. That way, you know, we can keep it clean and crisp because I want all the smoke. This is great. This is fun. If you don't mind, just give me like 5 minutes. Let me just tweak this a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna end this one right now. It's all gonna save, which is dope. But let me just sort of like refresh it so I can make sure like the audio is gonna be crisp and clear going on. Just
Okay.
bear with me for just a few minutes, okay?
Okay, no problem.
All right, thanks.
No problem.
All right, cool. So yeah, you know, last we were talking about you were talking about how, you know, you've sort of had to narrow down your group of friends because, you know, you realize that unfortunately some people just aren't there for you. They're kind of there for themselves or when it's convenient for you. You know, I've noticed there's that type of energy in your music too, where it's like I remember listening to, I don't know if you, I remember watching LeBron's Barbershop show on HBO Max and Meek Mill was on it and they were talking about how Meek Mill always raps like he's down 20. When I listen to your music, it's like, it's got that fuck everybody kind of energy to it. And I rock with that. That's dope. Does that, like what, I guess, talk to me about that. Talk to me about that, like that energy. It's just like, yo, if you're not with me, you know, it's fuck you kind of thing.
So, it's actually funny because when I first started making like my own music, I did like very like slow R&B, like
Mm-hmm.
sad, heartbroken, like the whole thing. And then I was like, I don't want to like be like sad, like you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I like kind of like rebranded my entire thing, and like I waited until I like created a sound that really like felt like I was like portraying myself correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first made Stay Out My Way, I was like, this is the sound, like this is the one that I want connected to me, like you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I guess that's just like my attitude in general, where I'm not like a mean person, like don't get me wrong, I'm not like mean, like
Mm-hmm.
that's just when it comes down to it, like that's just like my attitude. It's just like, you know, basically like if you're not with me, then
Mm-hmm.
whatever, fuck it,
Well,
right?
you know, music it's an emotional medium, right? It's a story. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool how people can tell their story or tell different parts of their story and their lives and their feelings through their music. You know, you add some beat, you add some melody, and it's just like, you know, if you're listening carefully, you can really feel that person's energy in the song. And so, you know, I think it's really cool. It's interesting. You kind of brought up how you sort of shifted in some ways because I get this. So to me, it feels like an R&B, hip hop, you know,
Yes.
kind of vibe to it. And that's my kind of music. And I realize, and I'm seeing that a lot of hip hop artists, you know, maybe they started off very rap heavy. That's sort of where they're sort of transitioning to now, like whether that's Lil Nas X or Uzi or, you know, Drake or what have you. We're kind of going into that hip hop R&B where it feels like hip hop is really starting to become a part of pop culture. Do you feel like any of that is sort of influenced by where music is going, and has it always kind of just felt like natural to you, I guess, in some ways?
I would say like there definitely is a shift in music, which like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like every couple of years, like artists have to like rebrand themselves to fit like where music is going and what's like the most popular at that moment. But like when I created the sound, like it just felt natural for me to be making this music. Like I love like recording and writing like slow songs, like a slow R&B, but to portray myself correctly, I felt like this was the right way.
Yeah. And I want to talk about, of course, the Fuck It music video, the one that hit the big 32K. Man, talk to me about what that feels like.
It feels awesome. It really does. It took a lot of trial and error to market things correctly and do the promotion correctly and blah blah blah. Sorry, my dog is like barking right now.
Oh no, you're
But
okay.
she what do you call it? It took a lot of trial and error to get to where it is now. And when it finally worked the right way and Stay Out My Way hit 29K and now Fuck It hit 32K, I'm seeing that it's getting better and better and better. Let me move this girl real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're okay.
She'll never stop. But once I saw that Stay Out My Way hit the 29K, I was like, okay, this marketing, this promotion approach is the right way. And then I did it again with Fuck It. And I guess from the promotion that I did from Stay Out My Way, my subscribers on YouTube and everything increased like dramatically. And then I think that also helped Fuck It reach a higher amount of views than Stay Out My Way. So yeah, it's a very good feeling because going through the motions and trying to figure out all the marketing and the right promotion, it's very, very when you try something and it doesn't work and you think it's going to work, like it's very irritating and it's
Yeah.
like what now, So
I
when you
know.
find the one that works, like it's a very good feeling.
Yeah. Real quick, Bella, am I cutting out on your end?
Just the video a little bit.
Just the
It might be
video?
my connection though.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure because I'm like, okay, I know I upgraded the plan just now, but I'm wondering, was I supposed to like, I don't know, like X out, I don't know, restart the computer, what have you? If it feels like it's getting a little bit out of hand, you just let me know because my time right now, right now, my time is your time, so I'm not going anywhere. I want to make sure we get this recorded nice, crispy, and well done. But you basically gave me the perfect segue. Marketing, as we know, it's not just about what you know, it's about who you know and how they can get you into the spotlight. I'm trying to get my podcast views, my YouTube videos up. It is a grind and it is very demoralizing when you put all this time into a certain video and you think it's gonna blow up and then it doesn't. And then, and it's talk to me about, I guess, how important is marketing, in this? Like talk to me about your experience as far as marketing the music.
So marketing to me is extremely, extremely important. The way that you beginning from the way that you post things on Instagram, like your announcements, like, oh, the video's out or whatever, like the way that you do that. And then the people that you send it to and the people that you have post it, like I try to find like influencers and people on Instagram or TikTok or something to post my song so that it can reach like a different amount of people. But you like, again, it's all about who you know, like you need the right person to post it for you. So that people take it more seriously. Like, so like, let's say like you have an influencer on Instagram that has 1 million followers or a couple million followers, what have you. And when they post a song, people will pay attention because they already have that crazy fan base, that crazy people will pay more attention to what you're doing. And then they'll go to your page and blah, blah, blah. But promotion wise, like with the videos, I was originally running like Instagram ads and I've found that now when I first started, Instagram ads really did do a lot for me, but I don't know if they changed like their algorithm or whatever it is. It's not doing much of really anything. Like when I would run an ad, it would pop up on people's timelines who already followed me. So it's like the point of the ad is to like try to reach other people that don't know who I am yet. So I just went the other route and I started going into YouTube ads and like Google ads and stuff. So I found that really helps that really helps the numbers on YouTube, because then it just runs for everybody. Like it runs
Yeah.
like anybody that goes onto YouTube or something, it'll pop up, they can click on it and watch the video.
Mm-hmm.
So other things such as like there's like websites and stuff where you can have your songs like put into a playlist and all this stuff so that other people can hear your songs, and then your Spotify or Apple Music plays go up as well. So I think it's very, very important. And I didn't now that everything is going the right way, like I'm starting to realize that it really counts, like the way that you promote and market yourself.
It's huge. And yeah, it's just so key, right? Just being able to network yourself, market yourself where people can find you, because, you know, the way Instagram and the YouTubes and the Facebooks, the Twitters of the world, they're constantly changing the algorithms and the way you can access people and access the things. It's like, because I did the paid ads for Facebook back in like maybe 2017, 2018. No one uses Facebook now for their promotion stuff anymore. So, you know, kiss that money goodbye. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, it's the organic growth versus the versus like the paid growth is such an interesting dynamic that's constantly changing. And if you're not keeping up with it, it's unfortunate, but you can grind really, really hard. But if you're not grinding strategically, then it doesn't work out the way it probably should. So that's the unfortunate thing about it, which, you know, I guess where was I going to go with the marketing side of things? Let's see, I talked about that. Yeah, well, talk to me about the production of the video, because I may have missed the other one that hit the 29K, but some of the other videos I saw didn't have a music video like the one you just released. What was it like? You know, what was it like putting together that music video? You know, and just everything that went into that production, because you talked about how it was complicated. I want to know more.
Yeah, so that music video, for Fuck It specifically, it took a long time because like I had to find the car, I had to find the right skate park.
Mm-hmm.
The girls that were in the video with me are actually three of my friends, so that was like easy to find them. To like, they were very willing to be in the video with me. But the whole thing, putting the video together, my videographer, like we have like a very good relationship, so we can like, we just like bounce ideas off of each other. I'll put together a step-by-step what I want each like verse or scene to be like, with what words and blah blah blah, and I'll send it over to him, and then he will then send me back his ideas and like how he can like do things differently, or like maybe possibly like just like tweak like what I want. And like, so because like he has like, I know what I want, but he has like that videographer mind, you know, where he's like making, like he can put it together very well. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to do that video. It was very fun. But when I sent him the whole rundown of what I wanted, basically he was just like, he always likes the ideas that I have, but he just always knows how to like bring it to life. You know, he knows how to bring it to life very well. So. And
you know, I mean, this might sound obvious to me and you, but I think to some it may be a little different. How important is it to have specifically that videographer, a producer? You know, that's because it sounds like you guys have really good chemistry as far as like bringing your vision to life. There's a lot of artists out there, there's a lot of videographers out there, but sometimes it doesn't always come together. How important is it to have that right hand that, you know, can basically bring it out, like bring it to life?
I found that it is extremely important because so me and my producer, we actually grew up together. We've known each other our entire lives. Like we're like going on like 18 years now of like being friends. So we've been doing this together for a long time. Me and him we were lucky in that way where we have had the time even before we started making music to like have a friendship and everything. So but when I have worked with other producers in the past, and I'm sure when I work with other producers in the future, it's very, very hard to find a producer that you click with where it's like so comfortable that you can make that great song almost instantly. You know what I mean? Like where they could just like be making the beat, and like he'll be making the beat and I'll just be in the mic like just like kind of like humming as I'm like writing it, and then as he's listening to me write the music, he can create the beat more like around what I'm doing and add certain sounds and add like whatever. Whereas other producers that I've worked with, they just want to like send me a beat, have me record on it, and like there's not like that open-mindedness all the time where you can just like bounce ideas off of each other and create a very, very solid sound. Um, so I work with my producer Climax mostly because we do have that relationship. My videographer, I would say even the first time me and him worked together, he did my video for Catch My Vibe. And even that video was very, very, very good. Like it came out like amazing. Like I love that video so much. And, but as time went on, like it just like got easier and easier for us to work together. I would say with that, it's very, very good to have an open-minded relationship with any person that you work with in this industry, because in order to like work with somebody and create something that's like really good, like you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to do it this way, and everybody has to, you kind of have to be able to listen to what other people have to say and their ideas and like ways that they can tweak everything or suggestions that they have and blah, blah, blah. Like you have to be able to be open to that, whether you're going to go with it or not. Like you just have to be able to sit there and like listen to what other people have to say.
Right. And that's so great that, you know, you and your producer have that kind of a relationship, because it can be hard to balance business and friendship. I mean, you've seen it, you know, it's affected your friend group. Sometimes, you know, you have friends and you get into business with them, and then it just totally throws off the relationship. And then either the friendship or the business goes, or worst case scenario, they both go. So, you know, that's awesome that you have a right hand, you know, who basically elevates you and vice versa. And it leads to some great stuff. Now, before I talk about the second music video, I may have addressed this already, but you did say with the Fuck It music video, how there was a little more pop and bounce to it.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I want to, again, I apologize if I may ask that before we cut out the first time, but I want to know a little bit more about that. What made you decide to go in that direction this time?
So that beat actually is a beat that my producer worked on with somebody else that he knows, that he works with.
Okay.
So that kind of, I guess like him working, like them creating the beat together created a totally different sound. And when I heard it, it was like that immediate hook that came in, like the fuck it, like that right there. Like I immediately like, I heard it and I was like, oh my God, like we can totally like make like kind of like, it's like kind of on the same vibe of my past music and like that whole like, you know, like how you said, like attitude type of thing that I had, but it also has like that pop feel to it where like it would like you can like dance to it. It's like a bop, like it's like a summer bop, like, you know what I mean? Like that's just like how I felt about that. So like I tried to go more in like, for that song specifically, I tried to go more in like a pop direction, but still hold that that like attitude aspect of it all. So like it kind of, you know, it kind of came together like that. But yeah.
So you said you were a big fan of Mary J. Blige for one thing growing up. Like what, I guess, like what's your music taste? For me, for example, right? Like I'm a big Drake fan, Migos, Future. Like I'm the type of dude, like I like listening to music that'll go off at the club, right? Like when it's time to turn up, it's time to turn up. That's my energy. Like what is, I guess, like is it like what's your music vibe? What gets you going?
So I kind of feel like it really depends on the day for me. Like there's some days where I wake up and like I want to bump like Drake, Future, Migos, like, and then other days I want to get in the car and like listen to Maroon 5, and then other days I want to get up and like throw on some Sade or Amy Winehouse or whatever. Like I wake up another day and want to listen to like Avril Lavigne. Like it just like really depends like on my mood. I like most music because I feel like every genre of music like does something different for me, and like it'll like it'll set me up for like the way that I feel that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it all depends on my vibe for the day. I don't really discriminate against any type of music. I really love all music. Like if I hear a song and it makes me feel a certain way, like that's it. I love that song.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know,
I
would
feel
say
that.
like mainly though, like I would say like R&B, hip hop music. Like
Yeah.
that's like the vibe for me.
Yeah, now I know what you mean. Like it was funny because like in college and now, like I would listen to a lot of like, pop music, top 40, what have you. And I I always had to like hide that from my boys because it was all hip hop and trap for them. So if they came in the room and they caught me listening to like, Miley Cyrus or Zed, they'd be like, "Yo, Rich, what the hell are you playing right now, bro?" It's like, what's wrong with you? I was like as soon as I heard that door start to tinkle, I was like, "Yo, yo, what's me?" He goes, oh man. But I feel like in 2021 it's a little bit different now. Like I feel like everyone has a little more of that hipster energy. So you're not just tied to one thing. And I'm glad I kind of brought this up because I would have been so upset if I didn't address this. So you talked about your car. Was that 70s show inspired? Is that one of your favorite TV shows? I used to love that 70s show.
What happened? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, so the car you used for the Fuck It music video, you said it was inspired from that 70s show. Is that one of your favorite shows?
I love that show.
Yeah.
I love that show. I'm like a huge fan of like sitcom kind of shows like that. Like I love that
Mm-hmm.
70s show, Friends, Girlfriends, like all of those shows like of just like people's like everyday lives, but like
Mm-hmm.
in like a TV show. Like I love it so much. But that 70s show, like I felt like it was just when I was putting together the whole vibe of the music video, I was thinking like, like skate park, like type of vibe, like whatever. And then I was like, what's the influence that I could use? And I was thinking of the hook, and I was like, what's like a fun thing to do for this hook? Because like how I said, it has that like bouncy, like pop, like you want to do something that's like fun, outgoing for that part of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I can get a car. Me and my friends could drive the car and we'll just like, so like in the theme song of that 70s show, like they're all in the car, like singing the
Yeah.
theme song, whatever. But like they're like every time, like it's like changing, they're like rotating seats and everything. So I thought that was really cool. Me and my friends actually did have a very, very fun time doing that. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
I used to watch, I remember, was it like maybe my sophomore year of high school? There was one summer, me and my buddy, we watched that 70s show on Nick at Night every single night. I'm talking two to,
That show is
we
so
watched it all night.
hilarious.
It was hilarious. I love it. I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix. It's weird now
Yeah.
because I don't really watch sitcoms like that anymore, but that was the one that really hit, and it's crazy because who was it, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, like that's back when they were
Yeah.
like babies, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
crazy how
Like
like
14, like, yeah.
yeah, I'll tell you what, who was it, Two and a Half Men? That is one of my favorite sitcoms now. I've loved that
Oh,
show
that
since I
show
was
is
in
very
high
funny.
school. I got my mom into Mom. I don't know if you know that sitcom.
No.
Okay. You might like it. It has to do with like, these two moms, mother, daughter, and they're basically recovering alcoholics. It's like a comedy sitcom. It's like they just had the series finale, but that's like me and my mom. That's like our pastime show. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cute.
Sometimes I'll watch Grey's Anatomy with her too.
Oh, I love Grey's Anatomy.
You excited for the new season? It's supposed to start
Yes,
this month, right?
yes.
Oh
I
man.
think they put the last season because I haven't watched the last season yet. I think
Hmm.
they just like put it on Netflix,
They
so I
just
gotta
put
watch
on
that.
time to binge
Yeah.
that. So the car, I don't remember like what the make and model of the car was, but as far as like your taste in cars, is that like your taste, like that 70s show, old school type of convertible? I don't know if that was a convertible. I shouldn't say that.
I would say
Like a
like, well, yeah, it was a '67 Chevy.
okay.
Yeah, it was like the teal blue color.
Yeah.
Um, I love the way that those cars look, but I wouldn't be able to like drive. I don't know enough about cars to maintain a car like that. Like
Yeah.
my cousin is like super, super into cars, so he actually got the car for me.
Hmm.
So he's like him and his friends are like always like working on old cars and whatnot. So
Got it.
he lent me the car for the video, which was super dope. But yeah, I love the look of old school cars. Like I feel like for like music videos, like you either have to have like the super old school vintage or like the like newest flashy like Lambo, like you know what I mean? It's like one or the
Yeah.
other like, type of thing.
I feel like if you're gonna rent, because I used to work at Enterprise, so it's like sometimes I knew fellas who would just walk in just to get a car, just to flex, to just have
Yeah.
something nice for the weekend. I don't know, get like a Dodge Charger or something like that,
Yeah.
like a Beamer. Oh my God. I kind of want to talk. I want to talk about the second music video, the 29K one. It's unfortunate because I haven't seen the video at the time it's recording. I don't know how I missed that. But talk to me about what the production was like for that. Was that another music video too? Was that visual? Was that like audio on top of like a visual? Because I
No,
may
that
have
was
watched
like
it.
that was the full, it was a full video. Yeah. That's the
Okay.
one where I did, that's the one where it was influenced. Oh my God. Hold on one second. My dog is across the street. I'm
Oh
so
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. No sweat. This gives me time to find it. I'm listening to. I'm watching this video right now on my phone. Yeah, this. Yeah, nah. I fuck with this. This is lit. Like this is lit. So I mean, you got other people rapping with you. You got the bandana on around the city. You just look like you're in the zone. I want you to talk to me about this. About stay out my way right now. This has this just. You're a boss. Hey, if you ain't with me, get out, stay out my way. Like, talk to me about what the energy in the production was like for that video.
So that video, when I was thinking of like a location for it,
Mm-hmm.
I looked up I looked up like popular spots like in the city, like
Mm-hmm.
places that people go, because I like to when I shoot my videos, I like to do it where there's going to be a lot of people, because I want people to see me. Like I want
Mm-hmm.
people to see me and stop and be like, oh, like who's that? Like what is she doing? Like you catch people's attention. So um I saw this spot and I love the Joker movie. It's awesome. So I used
Mm-hmm.
the Joker steps, and then I used the Joker steps, and from there I was like, okay, I need the suit, I need the whole thing. So in the movie, the Joker movie, when he's coming down the steps, there's the two police officers that are at the top, and they're like whatever, like chasing him. So I hired two dancers to, instead of like them chasing me, like they're just like they did their dance routine behind me. So
Mm-hmm.
I found them on Instagram, and it was like I was speaking to them for like 2 months before the actual video was shot, because I like to try to build like I said, like you have to like have like a certain level of comfort before you go shoot the
Mm-hmm.
video, so it's not like awkward and weird. So I stayed in touch with them for a couple weeks before the video was actually shot,
Mm-hmm.
so that when we actually came to shoot the video, it was like it was cool, it was good. So that scene was good. And then the second location where I have the bandana on, my videographer actually picked that, because I was like, I need another location. Like, where can we do it? So he said we can do it at this place called the Nautical Mile. It's by my house out here, and it's just like this mile long road where there's like restaurants and stuff. So he said it would be really cool if like you shot the video, like part of it just like walking down the middle of the street while there's cars like flying down the street. And like
Mm-hmm.
while we were shooting the video and I was walking, people were like beeping at me. They were like, get out of the road. Like, what are you doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. But he was like, it's like a cool aspect because the song is called Stay Out My Way. So like you're walking down the middle of the street and there's cars flying past you, like, and you just like don't even care. Like, it is what it is. So I was like, oh my God, that's such a great idea. So that's how we kind of like tied everything together.
Bella, 29K views. Like, that's a lot of freaking views. You should be so proud of yourself for that. Like
Thank you.
that has to feel good just to see your hard work paying off, the marketing, the production is absolutely beautiful. When I'm done with this interview,
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna have to watch this again, just like, probably replay it a couple times on my way to work. But yeah, that's man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Um, I want to talk about entrepreneurship because I think now we're at a time where people are trying to get out of their 9 to 5s and move on to, people want to walk in their purpose. I see studies and surveys all the time talking about how, basically half the country, they're not happy with their jobs and they wish they would do something else. But I also realize that it's very difficult for people to branch out, not just because we're so trained to be in sort of that simulation, but nobody wants to be that nail that stands up and possibly gets hammered down and laughed at by their friends and their peers. Because of that, I have a ton of respect for entrepreneurs like yourself that are willing to step out against the grain and basically hand in the dirt. I'm gonna do me no matter what it takes. Talk to me about, I guess, it's all about your friendship group, but talk to me about the mentality of being an entrepreneur. What does entrepreneurship mean to you?
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was asking, what does entrepreneurship mean to you?
Oh man.
I know it's a
it's
load of questions, so
yeah.
take your time with it.
I feel like it's I really feel like anybody, like any person could turn their dream into like a business, you know.
Hmm.
It's just all about like, do you want to, do you want to put the time in, do you want to put the work in? It's very, very difficult. I am currently trying to figure out a way to start really making money from the music, because right now, you know, it's like all like, you know, I get it, like it takes money to make money, but you know, after you put in money, like all this money, all this money, all this money, you want to start seeing some money back in your pocket, you know what I mean?
Right.
So right now, like we're trying to figure out a whole different way to get the money back. Like we're trying to feel like promote, we can do like merchandise, we can do I can start reaching out to, like, now that my videos are getting a certain amount of views, like I would probably have to wait a little while just to, like, really get the numbers up there before I can start getting paid from like YouTube or getting paid from Instagram or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, right now, like performance wise, kind of sucks because we can't really do much out here. So that's one of the biggest that's one of the biggest things that are really slowing me down right now, is that I can't really
Hmm.
go anywhere and perform anything. So but I think it's like it's very, very important for people to not be so submissive to the fact that, like, oh, you have to go like work your 9 to 5. Like I have a job, like I have like whatever, I waitress and I bartend. But I think that it's very important to have that thing that you really, really love. And at least, even if like, even if it does feel like how you said, people don't want to be that person that like whatever gets laughed at by their friends because they weren't able to make their dream come true. But I think it's always, no matter what, it's always worth a shot, because I just think that like people owe it to themselves to like try to go the route that they're extremely passionate about, something that they can like seriously, seriously enjoy for the rest of their lives. And that's just, I think that's what entrepreneurship is.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point, right? You know, you have to sort of spend money to make money. And that's I'm realizing this right now as I get older, where I'm like, for example, the other day I was thinking about, putting some money down to get access to a local studio nearby. So if I have clientele that I want to interview, I can meet them in person as opposed to going to a studio. And I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, I'm not going to get paid to do that. I'm basically paying them. But then when I was thinking about, I don't know, getting like, you know, maybe getting like a new pair of shoes or, some nice clothes at H&M, I was like, it just feels so smooth and natural. But I think
Yeah,
that comes from the fact that we're not trained to think like entrepreneurs. We're not trained to go out and spend the money to make the money. Because for one thing, like you said, it is complicated. It's just like there's no, when you and I want to preface this by saying I'm not knocking a 9 to 5 at all. I work too. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, when you go to that 9 to 5 or what have you, you're getting a paycheck at the end of the day. Even if you don't like the job, there is some security and safety, which that should not be underestimated too, because we realized during this pandemic how scary life can be when you lose that security and stability. A lot of people lost homes, lives, etc. But on that sense, it's kind of scary because you're constantly fighting against the grain, and it can be very demoralizing when you're putting all this time, effort, and money in, and you're not getting any of that income back. Because regardless of what we want to do in life, bills still got to get paid, right? Like, so
exactly.
it's like you need to be able to pay to have that roof over your head. So, it is definitely a challenge. And where I want to segue into asking a question about this is, I think now we're at a point where some people, they quit their full-time job cold turkey and they become full-time creative entrepreneurs. And whereas there's people like yourself and myself who are still keeping, their sort of 9 to 5, and they're doing they're walking in their purpose outside of that, working that one day their purpose can become that can basically sustain them so they don't need that 9 to 5 anymore. How do you look at that as far as whether you think people should kind of quit cold turkey and go for it, or kind of maybe balance it out and see where it goes for a little bit, because that is a huge topic right now, especially seeing as so many people are unemployed now and they didn't like their jobs before. I know I didn't. But but now they're thinking, okay, do I go back or do I try to do something different now in my, what my passion, so to speak? Sorry, I know it's another little question, but take your time with this one too.
So I don't think like it depends. Like if you have like a super solid plan where you feel like you can quit your job because I am in no position to quit my job. Like you know what I mean? I'm in no
Yeah.
position to do something like that. So I think that it all depends on where you are. Like I think that like for now, like I wouldn't be able to quit my job until I did start seeing a certain amount of money come back to me. And that's really just like what I'm waiting for pretty much. Because like I said, like I need my paycheck at the end of the week. You know what I mean? I need that money. I need to be able to do it. And I just basically use the time that when I'm not at work, I try to work on my own business. Even sometimes when I am at work, I'm answering emails, I'm doing whatever, I'm running, like, you know what I mean? So I try at this moment, like I try to balance it out. Which a lot of people like, I get it. Like it's very exhausting to like,
Yeah.
basically you're working two jobs pretty much. But I think that in the end, like it's very worth it. Like it really is. It's very worth it to balance it out if you can, and if you're able to quit your job cold turkey and go all in on your own business. Like honestly, like that's amazing. Because I wish
Yeah.
I could. I wish I was able to do that right now. I really do. Um, but I just think that it all depends on the person and where they're at, and like also like how much money you do have saved up, and like can you quit your job and sustain yourself for the next couple months until like your business is making money and doing whatever, like so it really all just depends on like where you are and like how comfortable you would be, like because like you said, like you need that security, you need that safety of your 9 to 5. So like that's what my job is now. It's always like I need that money, and I also need that money to put into like, the business that I'm trying to start.
Exactly.
So it's like that's where I'm getting the money from to put into that. So I kind of need it, but yeah, I just feel like it's it all depends on where you're at. It all depends on where you're at.
Okay. All right. I'm getting close to wrapping up this interview, so I want to make sure that I hit all my my bullet points, so to speak. Let's see. Okay. You told me who your favorite artists were growing up. Who would you say your top 5 favorite artists right now, regardless of genre?
Ooh. Okay, let's see.
And if it's someone from, and if it's still, someone you grew up admiring, that's fine too. I'm just curious. I think that'd be a
Yeah.
little fun Q&A.
Yeah. I would say top 5 would be, are we going in order or just like
Oh,
the
it doesn't
5
have to
people?
be in order
Any
because
specific
it
order?
doesn't have to be in order.
Okay.
You can just give me the 5 as is. Top 5 dead or
Okay.
alive.
So I would say my top 5 right now, can you stop please? My top 5 artists right now would be Drake, of course, obviously.
It's my favorite
SZA, I
rapper
love
too.
SZA. All of her music, like I love her. Drake, SZA. I still love Maroon 5. I actually just saw them live on Friday.
That's awesome.
They just like, I don't know what it is. I love them so much. Let's see what else we got. So hard to think of people off the top of your head. Drake, SZA, Maroon 5. Uh,
I got
there's
you.
this one guy. He's kind of like underground right now, but his music is like really, really good. His name is Jack Keys. Jack Keys. I'm not sure how he pronounces it. And I'm actually really starting to the Kid Leroy is actually really growing on me right now. I love
Oh
his
yeah.
music. He's
Word.
very, very good. Awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I add one more? Jack Harlow. Love Jack
Jack
Harlow.
Harlow.
Amazing. Yeah. Love
I
him.
like that. There's a real diverse mix in there. That's cool. But
Yeah, I
and
like
when
them.
you said Maroon 5, it did spark my second to last question. Now, as far as performing, like do you do performances at like nightclubs or bars or what have you? Like talk to
That's
me.
where
Yeah.
that's where I usually that's usually where I would perform is like bars, nightclubs, showcases. I've had like where people out here try to get me to perform like in like restaurants and stuff. I don't really I wouldn't really be comfortable going into like a restaurant and singing "fuck it" or "stay out my way." Like
Yeah,
that's not like it's not a restaurant vibe kind of music. So it's like
yeah.
I try to keep it to like the nightclubs, the bars, the lounges, the showcases and stuff. So that's really what it is. But I haven't performed in, I want to say, like a year and a half now. It's been really really rough out here. Like New York wise, it's very hard. I can't really get anywhere into the city right now. Long Island is not like, it's not that vibe. Like it's not like a lot of places out here. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
okay.
trying to branch out to other states and see what is available there.
Okay, so I lied. So there's going to be two more questions, but they're going to follow
Okay.
what you just said because I think this is really important to touch on. Um, Number one, I guess, yeah, like how, well, actually, I want to start with this. Tell me what that's like being on stage at that bar, at that nightclub. There's so many different personalities in music. Like there are some people who, outside of music, they're like, total introverts, really laid back. And then as soon as they go on stage, it's like, they become, Wonder Woman, Superman, or what have you. Like, what does that feel like for you to just be in? Like, what's that like right before you're about to get on stage, and then once you're just there? Is it just like, is it Game 7 of the NBA Finals kind of thing?
It's so I would say it's like when before I get on stage, I get like that, like I get like butterflies, like I get like
Mm-hmm.
that, like nervous, but like the like excited nervous feeling, like the anxious, like you just want to like start already, like you don't want to wait anymore, like you
Yeah.
just want to do it. And then once you get up there, and like for me at least, like when I get up there, when I get up on stage and I start and I hear my beat come on, and like I'm like you start getting in the mode of like the whole thing. Once you start performing, I feel like it kind of like blacks out a little bit. Like it really does.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm on stage, and it's like different vibes. Like for it's different feelings for like different places. So like when I'm at a bar and I'm just performing on the floor, and like there's a bunch of people like around me, and it's more of being like interactive with the audience kind of thing. I
Mm-hmm.
love that vibe. It's so much fun because like you have like a good time, like you're dancing with the crowd, like you're having a good time. People are like, like just like you just feel really close to like the audience. When you're on stage though, it's like you just alone in your zone, like people are just like staring at you, and it's like, oh, like, but like you don't notice it, like once you start, like it just like all goes away, like it's kind of like that like spotlight effect, I think they call it. It's just like it's crazy, it's a
Yeah.
crazy feeling.
Do you prefer to be the opening act, somewhere in the middle, or the closer?
um
What does it
I
not
would
matter?
like to be, I mean, like it doesn't really matter because I feel like either way, like I get the same vibe from the crowd, like I just
Mm-hmm.
always, but I would prefer to be either, I would prefer to be more towards the end. I would
Mm-hmm.
always prefer to be more towards the end. That's just,
Save the best for last, as they say.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know what you
I would
mean.
always prefer to be the last one.
And now the second to last question. How, I mean, you talked about it, but how tough was it during the pandemic as far as you being an artist? Obviously you said a lot of things were shut down, so you couldn't really do performances. Like, I guess how did you sort of navigate around that, if at all? Like,
So with the pandemic, I guess like performance wise and stuff like that, like it really took a hit like with that whole thing. But the pandemic also benefited me as an artist in the way where I was able to take all of that time to rebrand. That's when I created
mm-hmm,
all this music. I created all of these songs and we ran through a bunch of different sounds, and that's when I found the sound that I really really loved. So I had all of the time to really focus on what I wanted to do and what path I wanted to take, and what I wanted my look to be and the sound to be, and like the whole entire thing. So I feel like it was like bittersweet in a way where I wasn't able to perform, but I was able to take all that time to really go the route that I wanted to go and like find myself as an artist, like my true self as an artist, so to speak.
yeah, yeah, it kind of reminds me. It reminds me of like those boxing movies where the boxer gets knocked out early in the movie, and then basically like the whole middle section is basically about them kind of at the low and just really searching for themselves and finding their way to sort of bounce back and come back even stronger. So I'm glad you had that experience because, you know, this pandemic was tough for everybody. So, you know, I think it's cool that, you know, there are people like yourself who are able to sort of come out of it on a better end, at least in some way, shape, or form, you know.
Yeah.
And now my last question, of course, is there any questions you have for me? Is there anything I didn't address already that you feel like would be important for me to ask?
Um, I don't think so. I think we had a pretty solid
Yeah.
conversation, honestly.
Honestly,
I think we had a very, very good conversation.
this didn't even feel like an interview. This felt like a conversation.
As it should.
So
It should be, like I said, the comfortable vibes. It flows so much better. You know?
exactly. When I used to work in sales, they said they were like, "Yo, don't make it a transaction, make it an interaction."
Exactly.
But yeah, so I'm gonna talk to, you know, the boys at WMIC about how they want to release this because I know they wanted to plan some special like release as far
Yeah.
as the production. But I'll be in touch with you. This will come out very, very soon. Now that it's recorded, I'll be able to, yeah, like I said, I'll talk to the fellas, Ralph and Norman, and yeah, we'll edit this and we'll make it real nice and crispy. Bella, thanks so
Sounds
much for
good.
taking the time. And I
Thank you
look
for
forward to
having
chatting
me.
with you soon too. You know, likewise. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I'll be in touch. Okay.
All right. Sounds
Have a
good.
good
Thank
rest
you.
of your day.
You
You
too.
too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.